All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the part of the world I'm so excited to be here again today, tonight. I missed you from the last edition that we had last month, and we are here again. This is Motherhood with Dignity. My name is Temitope Jegede. As we all know, I'm glad to be here this evening. We are Dignity of Womanhood, an interdenominational ministry, uniquely and purposely designed by God for all women, for ages, tribe, race, class, and color, to bring back dignity and color. Yes, from last episode, this is our episode 002. From the last episode, the first episode, I remember we talked about motherhood. And one of the points we took home the last time was you should be a mother to your child. That is, your motherhood should be about raising the child that you have, not the child that you want. So today on this episode, we are talking about empowering Gen Z girls. A very powerful episode. And with me tonight is my beautiful sister, all the way from the United Kingdom. You're welcome this evening. It's so nice to have you here. Please, can you introduce yourself to us?
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Tokwe. My name is Antonia Odiayi. Yes,
You're welcome.
so today, the topic is actually something that is interesting and quite crucial because
Yes,
we're talking about Gen Z girls today. So it's
that's
something,
right.
like I said, is very crucial, and I know by the time we dive into the discussion or the topic, there'll be a lot of things to pick out from it. So
Yeah.
I am a social service practitioner. So these are things that I see daily, or I work with most of these young persons. But I believe it would be interesting and something for everybody to take home.
Yes, I believe so. I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear all you have for us tonight. I can't wait to share your experiences, and so that you can open our eyes to a lot of things that we need to know as parents, as teenagers, and all that. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. So before we start, can you tell us what we mean by Gen Z girls? This evening, on this episode, we'll be, looking at female gender for now. Though we are not, but we want to concentrate on the girls first. What do we understand, or what do we mean? When they say Gen Z girls, what exactly is this talking about?
Okay, so in my own understanding, what I believe they call Gen Z girls are, or Gen Zs, they are the woke set of people. They call them Gen Z baddies. So
Right.
it's a thing among young girls now who feel, oh, they are woke, and they can do what it is they want to do unrestricted, unsupervised, and just live carefree. That's what I believe it is.
Mm. Right. What do you think? How do you think that has affected us as parents, um, as a society, as a community? How is that coming along? How are we, accepting that, or how are they, going into the system? Trying
Okay.
to blend. Yeah.
All right. So I feel like the generation we have today, it's not like while we were growing up, everything has changed. I
Mm.
mean, some change is something that is constant, that is dynamic. But the
Yeah.
society we
Yeah.
find ourselves we find ourselves in a society that I would like to put it as a very porous society. So there are a lot of things that have really deviated from the way it used to be, the norm it used to be. So right now we
Mm.
have a lot of people that come out and say, "Oh, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. I'm not a girl, I'm a
Right.
boy." There's a lot of things that are going, I'll put it, going wrong in the society
Mm, the
right
society. Right.
upside down. So, and how it has affected the family. we can see that a lot of families are being affected by this syndrome. Let's put it like that. This syndrome,
Right.
because it now gets to a point that parents actually do not have some form of control over their kids, and
Mm-hmm.
it goes on like that and extends into the society. And if we can recall, while growing up, it didn't used to be like that. I dare not go to school and come back, and my teacher in school, I get a report from school. I get reported at school. Oh, you're going home, and your parents find out that you've been naughty in school, or you've done something wrong in school. You're going in for it. But I feel like the culture
Mm.
now, it's a different thing now. A lot of parents are carefree about their children. They feel, oh,
Right.
I don't need to imbibe or do the things that I was used to. It's a changed world now. I'm not saying that some of the things are not visible, but at the end of the day, there's something called, for kids or for young people, I feel there should be some form of
Mm.
boundary for them.
Right.
There should certainly be a form of boundaries for them. And this is what we find out, that a lot of kids have gone awire. And the system is just a rotten system. Actually, it's just a rotten
Mm. Oh, okay. So like we say, the parents we have now are even still children. So you have cases of children parenting children. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes.
Because so in those days, what is accepted now, like you have children even sitting in the midst of adults, even having conversations. We never had that opportunity then. So are we now saying we should totally eradicate that, having them to be free with the parents or to be free with the adult? Or what exactly can you call, or can we point out to be the problems or the causes of all what we are having today?
Yes, I will still go back to what I said. It has to do with boundaries. I feel like children need to
Okay.
understand boundaries. I'm not
So
saying being
who should create these boundaries?
the
Who are
parents, the
right?
parents. And I feel like I
Right.
am, if I'm going to categorize this, it's a different system in Africa, and it's a different
Mm,
system in the Western world. What you find out
right.
here, even a lot of parents are even scared of their kids. They can't talk to their kids because,
Mm,
like, there's a rule, there's a law. You can't do certain things to your kids. And the kind of kids we have now, or girls we have now, they are woke girls, so they know what the system is.
mm,
A 12-year-old child can quote the law for you back to back, because they know what is obtainable, and they know you can't touch them. You can't do certain things to them. You can't discipline them. So I feel like I still go back to the fact that it has to do with, I believe strongly that for a child, there has to be boundaries. I'm not saying you can't have conversations with your kids. You can't, have a heart-to-heart talk with them. But
mm.
in as much as those things are in place, there has to be boundaries. That is what I believe. Because for children, that is
Okay.
what they need. I still go over it over the time, because I get to see a lot of young persons, and I'm like, if there were some boundaries in place, I'm not saying you can't scold your kids, but in the midst of scolding, there's what you call teaching. When you teach a child boundaries, the
Mm,
child will understand that, oh, if I do this thing, this is it. This is the boundary for me. And it starts from when they're little kids. If you
infant.
can't
Yeah.
control at that age, how more do you think you can control a child that is probably 17, 15, 15, 16, 17?
All
It
right.
becomes very impossible. So I will still go back
All
and
right.
say, to me, it's boundaries. Kids need to understand boundaries.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. So I understand boundaries, but now, like you rightly said, that there are some children or some teenagers that can quote laws. So if parents are creating boundaries and the government or the system,
Yeah.
is not helping with those boundaries,
Uh-huh.
how do you think we can, cope with that? How do you think we can help salvage such situations?
For me, He all boils down, he boils down to the grace of God, actually, trying to train up these kids in a system that is
Child.
so
Yeah.
and has a different understanding of how to train kids. Because at the end of the day, I see a lot of things that happen. You see kids and are taking off their parents, are put in foster care, or kids that are they're generally taking off their parents and they're put in care. And I'm like, what makes you think that in the real sense, what makes you think that you as a parent, since you can't take care of your child, what makes you believe that I'll be the one to correct that child, or I'll
To
be the
take,
one
yeah.
to do the things you're supposed to do. So,
Mm,
um, at the end of the day, I've really searched for the answer, and
mm,
I don't have any answer. All I have to just say, it just takes the grace of God. But that's not to say that we don't have kids that are grounded, that are morally upright in the system. But I just feel like for parents, it has to take a whole lot of intentionality. You have to be
mm,
intentional. Back at home, if you're doing 50% and you're getting results, for here you have to do 200%, because the
right.
system and the laws are not, you know, it's not friendly for me. That's what I would say, because you're saying, oh, we care about these kids, the kids are paramount to us, but you guys set laws and stuff that don't keep these children, that are not helping these kids in any way.
Mm,
So that
okay. Thank you so much. You can go ahead. You
so
can go
yeah,
ahead. You were
yeah,
saying something? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay. So something else that um comes to mind is, you know, nowadays we have many career parents.
Mm-hmm,
You leave your kid, your girl child, with neighbors, with uncles, with aunties, even maids. So you see, parents now hardly know their kids.
mm-hmm.
So, there's a kind of fear in the kid. You don't know what your kid or child is capable of doing, so, and then you leave them at the mercy of an external body to train up that child. So don't you think sometimes it could be that this child has a fear, or has um, lacks confidence, and she believes until she belongs, in a kind of setting or system before she can now be accepted. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
for example, you have caucus, you have gangs in school, and some kids, because of the lack of confidence or lack of self-esteem, they tend to draw back, or if not drawing back, they tend to do whatever it takes to be able to belong to such gang or group or whatever it is. So what do you think, even apart from the parent now not being present, what do you think, as maybe teachers in schools, what can be done to help save these children?
Okay. I will talk from the perspective here. Um, for parents, I feel even if in the absence of parents as teachers, I feel like, but generally what we have now is a lot of people just going into this profession just not because they have the passion for it, to raise kids or to nurture kids or to empower kids. A lot of people are just in that profession because it pays the bills, and at the end of the day the
Mm,
laws like restrict them to do some things that they ought to do. But that's not to say that some of the things these teachers should do, like while growing up, we have teachers that were you know, knowledgeable, and they were able to pass a lot of things to us not even in terms of education, but in terms of other things too. So we had teachers then that not only imbibed education, some sort of character traits in us as well. But what we have nowadays is just teachers that or persons that are just in that profession, just find themselves in that profession that, oh well, this is what I think I can just do, or I can just do, and just get into that profession. But for now, I would just say it's a really messed up, it's a really messed up situation, because
Okay.
everything still boils down to what the government policy says, or what they feel the right of a child should be. So now
True.
I feel like the hierarchy they have now is children at the top, then before any other person.
Mhm.
So more
Right.
like a pampered system for the kids. They can just do anything and get away with it. And that's why we have a very, very poor and bad society. And I used to say this too, that if the devil wants to strike, he won't go for the older ones. You see, it's all those young children,
Young
those
one.
young stars, those upcoming, those are the ones he go for. And
Mm.
once that is gotten out of the way, they're the ones that they can use to do a lot of bad things in the society. But at the end of the day, I feel it still boils down to the family units, parental control,
Mm.
parents intentional about their kids. You have to be intentional. Everything is not about going to shift or looking for money and all that. The responsibility of a child still lies with the parents, greatly with the parents, the first and the foremost thing. But what we have nowadays is a lot of people, they don't even believe in the institution of marriage. You have women that
Mm.
just want to have kids. There's just this certain ideology, oh, I could just get pregnant, have a kid, and everything is fine. All you have is
Mm.
baby boomers, even people that can't even take care of themselves, you see them having kids. And I say it, if you can't give what you don't have, you can never
Mm.
what you don't have in another person. You can't outpour it on a child or someone else when you don't even have such values. So even the
Mm.
parents training or looking after these kids or bringing these kids into this world, they themselves, they don't even have what it takes, to look
To
after
take care of
children.
the children.
It's just, oh, I have a child, and you have zero knowledge or zero idea
Oh,
about how to take care of your child. And it's just, at the end of the day, you have to be intentional. You know, that's what I feel.
all right. Awesome. 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 So can we say it is safe to run into the church since the system is failing, parents are failing? Is it
Hmm.
safe? Can we now say the church, because I remember when I was growing up, even though my parents, you know, they were very strict, but also the church played a part in it. We had those days that we'll be in Sunday school, doing swords and all of that. But we hardly see those things now, even in Sunday schools. So can we say the church is an avenue or a safe place to correct some of these things?
So, like you did say, you said the churches nowadays is not even somewhere that you find.
Well,
Yes, it's not
it's
where you find its value. But that's not to say that the church too is actually a good outreach for the kids, if it's done rightly, if it's done correctly. Like currently, aside work, we run like a program in church whereby what we
okay.
focus on the kids. Everything we do is about the kids, because like they will tell you, even in church, like the pastor will say, I'm not bothered about you, the adults. These are the children, these are the young ones, this is the ones the devil will go after. These are the ones that the devil will try to corrupt and all that. So I feel like the church too is lacking in that part, because let's be truthful, a
Mm.
lot of churches or a lot of Christian bodies or what have you have actually derailed and lost focus of what it should stand for, or what it should
Mm.
stand for. So, but
Mm.
largely, the church is still, I believe the church is still a very strong institution to try and, salvage the situation that we're talking about. The church is actually a
Mm.
way to do that.
Okay, thank you. So now I want you to give us because you work closely with these girls,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you have one or two experiences that you can like share with us what you have seen and how you have been able to solve some of these things, practical solutions, some things that you have put in place to help, cure some of these things. We know, it can't be totally eradicated and it can't be, once, but some of the steps that you think you have taken or you think parents can take, especially single parents, that you think can be taken to cure these things or to put things back at least in place.
Okay, so I will give practical examples, just of experiences that I've had, or like field work that I've done. So what we practically do is we get what we do is we get referrals from the local authorities, but I deal with young girls actually. So what we do is we get in, a lot of these girls are traumatized. It's not their fault
Mm.
at the end of the day. They were not shown the right thing to do, or they were not being properly nurtured, and they grew up to that stage. Some will have young girls that get pregnant at the age of 13, 14, and a lot of them, some are traumatized. So what we do is we get in, we get them cancelled. um the system does not actually recognize, how do I put it, they don't recognize what religion or faith, so we don't use that on.
Okay.
So what we do is we
I
just,
think that's also a problem.
yeah, they don't recognize it. You can't even talk about
Mm.
it. You dare not talk about it.
Really.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I actually worked with one. She's been in foster care for since I think age 4. So she got taken off foster care. So
It's
at
four.
that,
It's four.
yes, she's been fostered
Wow.
since age 4. So she got taken off at the
Okay.
age of 13. She came into the system, and the first thing was she didn't understand who she was, like her identity. Like, oh, because she got fostered by, according to her, she got fostered by lesbian partners. So those were the only things she understood. What she understood was a woman and a woman, or a man and a man, and it was all right. So when
Mm.
she the system, it was a bit difficult because she was like, oh, this is the only thing I know. This is the only thing I understand. So
Mm.
he a lot of work with her. Coupled with a lot of things, she's been raped, she's gone through a lot of trauma. So girls like that, what we do for them is, firstly, what we do is we get them counseling. But note that they don't recognize what we call faith or Christendom. They dare not talk about it. So it becomes difficult. How then do I, because these are case files that I have to work with. So how do I pull through
Wait.
with? And most of these girls, it becomes difficult for you as a worker, because these girls have been people that they've been passed on from probably one family to another family. So they probably feel like,
Yeah, I know,
what
sir.
what are you gonna do? You're just gonna walk into my life, and live just like every other person did. So it becomes difficult for you to work with them. But we take it
Mm.
day by day. So the first thing we do is try to gain their trust. Just let them understand
Okay.
that, oh, we're here to work with you. And trust me, it's not always easy because we get different cases. We'll just let them understand that we're here for you. Just support them in any way they want to be supported. We have multi agencies that we work with, and we get them in. So those that need maybe psychiatric psychiatric needs, we get them into that. Um, some sort of rehabilitation. So we just get them into it. It's a day-to-day thing. So we go along with them, and what we try to do is make them get interested in things that they like to do, or maybe things that they've lost in the
Yeah.
past. Just a means for them to, just those that want to get into education, put them into education. Those that want to do a vocational learning, we put them in some sort of vocational learning, and we move from there. But basically,
Mm.
some we lose, some we lose, some we gain some. But at the end
Jesus.
of the
Oh,
day,
so
some of the
some are irredeemable.
yeah, it's a lost case at the end of the day. But some we are able to
Mm.
redeem and move them forward. Just get them to a stage or a level where they become independent for themselves. And that for me gives me joy, because it feels most times when they come back, like, oh, when they see me on the streets, they're like, oh, hi, what's up? I've worked with that lady, I've worked with you. Thank you so much. You really did this for me. You really, and for me, that that's enough for me, because I
Awesome.
believe doing
Awesome.
something, I'm actually helping some of these girls. And sometimes what I do is I just let them understand that do you, sometimes I know it's out of the line of work. So sometimes I'm like, I want to invite you to my church. We have an outreach in church. If you don't mind, can
Right.
you come around? So some
Right.
of come around to church when we have programs, just get them into such programs. And if they feel led, they're like, oh, I like this gathering. I like the fact that I feel love around here. So I feel like that's what everybody actually needs. And
Mm,
most of the kids, or most of this,
mm,
that is the fundamental thing they lack. That that
mm,
love. They've never had it. They've never felt it. So when you're giving it to them, they're like, I don't understand this. They can't decipher. They can't understand that. Oh, this is love, or being able to
mm,
identify this thing from that thing. So most times it's always like that. So we try to do what we can at the end of the day
mm.
within the confines of the law.
Oh, this is so insightful. Is really a lot. I'm sure sometimes your work is very interesting, and
Ah,
sometimes it can be very, I can I can imagine. I can imagine because you get to meet with a lot of people. You get to meet with a lot of people, a lot of people. So
broken
so
girls.
now so that is for that is for those that are in the foster homes. So what about the girls, the children that lives with us, that our either adopted or biological children, that lives with us, and they also, because they see what is on, because they now have access to the social media. A lot of things are going on. They just want to be free. They want to do stuff. They want to do things. And, as parents, because we are also new generational parents, you find it difficult. Sometimes I just wish, oh, why don't they come with remotes, so that you can, or a manual, so that there's a manual you just pick up and, oh, okay, when she's doing this, you do this. So those that live in the house, okay, so I understand that sometimes you need to accept them, that they are no longer kids, because that could be an issue too. We still want to see them as children, as kids.
Mhm.
you know
Okay.
so sometimes I think not accepting them, that they are grown, that they are maturing, and still wanting to treat them as kids, could also be a problem that we are facing, that so that is causing like a rebellion. You get, so for children that are in-house, that are not even out there,
Mhm.
how do we manage them also? Because of course, you say counseling, yes, I understand counseling. You say love, yes, I understand love. But they are just so grown that they just want to explore.
Yes.
They
We
want to
live.
explore, even though the Bible says train up a child the way you should go. We do all of these things, and still we just still find it, I mean,
Yeah.
it's exhausting.
Yeah.
So
So
what advice do you have for parents?
I feel like this generation we find ourselves, the fact that a lot of kids now are, they're out there, and with the advent of, I say it, social media is something that I don't know if social media, for me,
Hmm.
largely social media plays a lot of role in most of these social
A
vices,
lot of role, yeah,
because
you're
these are
right,
what
yeah.
they see. And but I feel like for parents, it still boils down to relationship and how you're able to talk to your children. And I feel like the way we were brought up is definitely not the same way you're going to have to deal with your children, because we're in a woke
Yeah,
society.
it's different.
So I feel like at the end of the day, it just boils down to just keep talking to them. I'm not saying monitor them, but just, be very observant about your kids, understand their emotions as much as we feel that they are kids, they are
Correct,
young
correct.
ones. you have to firstly understand that this person too is, he or she is not only my child, but this is a person too. I need to
Mm.
respect them. I need to understand their feelings. In the multitude of our trying to, do something that we feel as parents is good for them, we should be able to see to and listen, not just expect that you're just throwing every of
Right.
your or
Right.
every down on that child. You should be able to understand that child
Mm.
to a very good level. That's one of the things I feel that a lot of parents don't actually understand, because your manner of approach
Mm.
to your child really do matter. And you find out that a lot of
Mm.
parents,
Mm.
in the midst of, these children, they could be a handful at times. We tend to say some things to the child at that period. Oh, this, that, swearing or saying curse words at them. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work that way. So I feel, just make that child your friend. Be interested in things that they do.
Yes.
you know and we live in a generation where
Mm.
kids, if you tell a child to do something, you need to give reasons. This is why I want you to do this. This is why I want you to do, you know so you can't just tell a child, do this. The child will ask you why. Give me 5 reasons why. Why?
Why? Mm.
So even as parents, you shouldn't get tired. Just, keep talking to them. Get interested in things that you feel they like to do. Encourage them, even when they've made a mistake or they've made some,
Mm.
able to bring them back and talk to them that, oh, I know you made a mistake. It's very fine. I'm
Mm.
I'm not gonna judge you on that. I'm not gonna rate you on that. But this is what you could do better.
Mm.
That is what you could do better. Organize lunch dates with them. Just maybe you and your child go out, eat, get to know them more. Sometimes it might be a bit difficult, but you just have to take it one step at a time.
At a
And like
time.
most of the cases that we do see, there's just one element that lacks, is the fact that most of those kids lack the love that they should have. You see some, they'll be like, oh, you're having section one. Like, okay, let's go. Let me give you a hug. Like, hmm? I've never been hugged before. Like, they don't
Mm.
feels.
Wow.
See them portray those bitterness within them. It's not from a place of, being nasty. They don't understand love. They don't understand. They've not been shown affection the way it should be. And you're coming, you're hugging me like, hug. What's a hug? I don't want to
Mm.
understand. Why are you hugging me? Why are you caring? Why do you all of a sudden, why are you caring about me?
Mm.
Care about me? So that's what I feel though.
Wow. Wow. This has been very, very insightful. It's been a great conversation. I have learned a lot from it. If I'm going to recap all you have said today, the important thing for our children, for our girls, is love. We
Is
show them love.
love.
We allow them make mistakes,
Yes.
but they should not get born.
Yeah.
We should allow them make mistakes, and from those mistakes, they pick it up. We shouldn't crucify them. Those days when you do stuff, your mom will go, what's wrong with you? You see the shout like everything is going to burn down. But these days we should just take it easy with them. We should be that to go mom. Your child should see the house as a safe heaven. Just the other day, my daughter was telling me that, mom, in school today, I was so tired, but I was just like, I just need to get home. When I get home, I'll be stress free. I will have my mom to talk to. So we should be that to go mom.
Yeah.
That your child will believe if anything happens to me outside, as long as my mom is gonna listen to me, I'll be all right. So we should try and always have that. Then we should give them a bit of freedom, even though that freedom should be within a caring boundary. Yes, you
Yeah.
want them to be free, you want them to explore, but like you said, we should have boundaries. Also, you said You said that we should be interested in things that they love to do. Yes, I agree. Because like the topic we had the other day, some mothers will say, this child, because I was unable to become a doctor, she must be this doctor. We don't care to want to know, this is what this child wants. Let her go for it. So,
Yes.
like you have said, we should be interested in those things they want to do. We should approach them with respect too. Yes.
Mm.
We should approach them with so much respect. We should show them that we trust them.
Yes.
So you've given us a lot of good points, good experience on this program today. And I would say thank you so much. Our time is fast spent, but I really enjoyed today. I hope my viewers, you enjoyed the talk today on Gen Z girls. Please, like all we've heard from our professional today, let us show them love. Even the Bible says love is the greatest of all. Love is the greatest of all. So let's show our children love. No matter how then we shouldn't compare.
Yeah.
We shouldn't compare these children. We shouldn't say, look at your mates, look at no. So please, let's just show them love. Let's be that to go mom that they can come to. Let's show them that act of kindness that just randomly, like you said, we should organize lunch dates, movie nights, you know. So I want to say thank you so much for your time. And I hope when we call you next, you'll be available for us. God bless you. So, viewers, thank you again for tonight. Thank you for joining me on this program, Motherhood with Dignity. Hope to see you next month, same time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Next month, that's every third Saturday of every month. God bless you and have a wonderful night rest. Bye-bye.
Bye.